On May 5, 2025, the Trump administration unveiled a controversial new program aimed at reshaping the landscape of immigration enforcement in the United States. This initiative, dubbed the Self-Deportation Incentive Program, seeks to encourage undocumented immigrants to voluntarily leave the country in exchange for financial and logistical support. The program, announced with much fanfare by the administration, has ignited a firestorm of debate, with proponents lauding its practicality and critics denouncing it as a coercive measure that preys on vulnerable populations. This program marks a significant departure from the traditional approach to immigration enforcement, which has typically relied on a combination of border security measures and interior enforcement actions, including raids and deportations. By offering incentives for self-deportation, the administration aims to reduce the number of undocumented immigrants residing within the United States, while simultaneously easing the strain on the country's already overburdened immigration enforcement agencies. The Trump administration has framed this initiative as a win-win solution for both the United States and undocumented immigrants seeking to regularize their status. For the United States, the program promises to reduce the costs associated with traditional enforcement measures, allowing resources to be redirected towards other pressing priorities. For undocumented immigrants, the program offers a path, albeit an uncertain one, towards potentially regaining legal entry to the United States in the future. However, critics of the program argue that it is nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to circumvent due process and undermine the rights of undocumented immigrants. They contend that the financial incentives offered, while seemingly generous at first glance, pale in comparison to the potential consequences of self-deportation, which include prolonged family separation, economic hardship, and the uncertainty of ever being allowed to return to the United States legally. The centerpiece of the Self-Deportation Incentive Program is the offer of a $1,000 stipend to each undocumented immigrant who voluntarily departs the United States. This financial assistance is intended to aid individuals and families in covering the costs associated with their return journey, including transportation, lodging, and other essential expenses. The administration argues that this financial incentive will provide a much-needed safety net for those who may be hesitant to leave the United States due to economic constraints. In addition to the financial stipend, the program also offers logistical support to facilitate the self-deportation process. Undocumented immigrants who choose to participate in the program will be provided with assistance in making travel arrangements, obtaining necessary travel documents, and navigating the often complex process of exiting the United States through official channels. This support is designed to streamline the departure process and alleviate some of the stress and uncertainty associated with self-deportation. Furthermore, the program promises a degree of protection from apprehension and detention by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Undocumented immigrants who express their intent to self-deport through the designated channels will be placed on a lower priority list for enforcement actions, providing them with a window of time to make the necessary arrangements for their departure without the fear of imminent arrest or deportation. The administration contends that these combined incentives, financial assistance, logistical support, and temporary protection from enforcement, will create a compelling case for undocumented immigrants to consider voluntary departure. They argue that the program offers a humane and dignified alternative to the often traumatic experience of forced deportation, allowing individuals and families to leave the United States on their own terms and with a degree of financial security. One of the central arguments put forth by the Trump administration in defense of the Self-Deportation Incentive Program is its cost-effectiveness. The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, estimates that the average cost of arresting, detaining, and deporting a single undocumented immigrant is approximately $17,000. This figure encompasses a wide range of expenses including law enforcement salaries, transportation costs, legal fees, and the operational costs of detention facilities. By incentivizing self-deportation, the administration aims to significantly reduce the number of costly deportations, freeing up valuable resources that can be redirected towards other priorities, such as bolstering border security, enhancing interior enforcement efforts, and addressing the root causes of illegal immigration. The $1,000 stipend offered through the program, they argue, pales in comparison to the substantial expenses incurred through traditional deportation proceedings. To further bolster their case, the administration points to the declining deportation numbers under the Trump administration compared to the previous administration. Since taking office in January 2025, the Trump administration has deported 152,000 individuals. This figure is notably lower than the 195,000 deportations carried out between February and April of the previous year, 2024, under the Biden administration. While these figures might suggest a softening stance on immigration enforcement, the Trump administration attributes this decline to the deterrent effect of their aggressive immigration policies, including the self-deportation incentive program. They argue that the threat of deportation, coupled with the availability of a financial incentive for voluntary departure, has created a powerful disincentive for individuals considering illegal entry or overstaying their visas. The process of self-deportation under the new program begins with a simple, yet consequential step downloading a mobile application. The CBP Home app, a rebranded version of the CBP One app used by the previous administration for facilitating legal entry, serves as the digital gateway for undocumented immigrants seeking to express their intent to depart the United States voluntarily. Through the app, individuals can notify immigration officials of their decision to self-deport, initiating the process of verifying their eligibility for the program and arranging their departure logistics. The app also serves as a platform for accessing information about the program, including details about the financial stipend, available support services, and the potential consequences of self-deportation. However, the path to self-deportation is not without its hurdles. While the DHS suggests that self-deporting may help preserve the possibility of legal re-entry in the future, the program offers no concrete guarantees. In fact, individuals who have resided in the United States illegally for over a year and subsequently depart may face a 10-year ban on re-entry, a consequence that could have profound implications for their ability to reunite with loved ones or pursue future opportunities in the United States. Adding to the uncertainty is the absence of a clearly defined pathway for legal re-entry after self-deportation. The administration has remained tight-lipped on the specific criteria that would be considered for readmission, leaving many to wonder whether self-deportation would truly serve as a stepping stone towards regaining legal status or simply a point of no return. President Trump, in his characteristically blunt style, has hinted at the possibility of expedited re-entry for certain individuals, stating that the United States might allow good migrants to return quickly. However, these vague pronouncements have done little to quell the anxieties of those grappling with the weighty decision of whether to stay and fight for their right to remain in the United States, or to leave with the faint hope of one day returning legally.